All right, footy fans, get ready for another episode of the NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. Here are your hosts, PJ and Breno.
Hey footy fans, welcome back to another episode of NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. I'm Breno, and what a weekend of football we just had. I'm still buzzing after the Newcastle Knights pulled off a nail-biting win, leading for most of the game, then watching the Dolphins take the lead, boo. But never fear, the Knights kept their cool. They come back strong to score the match-winning try in the final minute. That's the magic of footy, though, the highs, the lows, and the thrills of every moment. While I was feeling all those highs and lows, so too was PJ's Rabbitohs. Unfortunately, weren't the winning side, but they fought hard to come back from behind. Only for the Storm to clinch the Golden Point victory, and a tough pill to swallow for South fans. But that's footy, right? So PJ, welcome to the show, mate. How are you feeling after all that?
Oh, Breno, wow. I'm just pumping myself up doing the Tommy Rhodonicus. Now my face is a bit sore.
And a bit red too.
What did I do that for? But yeah, the game, it was cold. It was very cold, ladies and jellyfish.
You can tell by the photo.
Yeah, I was rugged up as best I possibly could be. But yeah, the Bunnies, they surprised me. I did tip Melbourne Storm 13+, so another multi. Gone. They needed extra time to even get the win, but South Sydney, like, great effort. That's 4 weeks, Breno. We played the top teams.
Yes.
We lost by 4. We led the Raiders at halftime and then got smashed.
Yeah.
We lost to the Bulldogs by 6 and lost to Melbourne Storm by 1 in extra time.
Yeah, so
that's a pretty good effort.
Pretty good, absolutely.
The top 4. And we have, in my opinion, a winnable season from on. I think there's maybe 1, maybe 2 games we'll lose for the rest of the year. The Bunnies, ladies and gentlemen, are back in the winner's circle starting this week. You heard it here first.
Let's hope so. Okay, so it is. It's Beanies for Brain Cancer Week too. Thought I'd just throw that in there.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, hang on. I've lost my button. There it is. There it is.
They move on his keyboard.
Raising money for the Mark Hughes Foundation. Former Premiership Knights player. He went through a massive battle with brain cancer, and he's here to raise some awareness and some money for the sales of some beanies. We do it every year, and I haven't got one yet, but they're all sold out online once again. So, but I'll still get the Lowe's and grab one, I guess. But if they haven't run out, but look pretty
we've
good.
Got a few in our family, Breno. A couple of different variations of the beanies for brain cancer. I'm looking for diversity, Breno. Help me out here. Okay. What if the beanies for brain cancer next year was gloves for brain cancer, and then scarves for brain cancer, and we can actually get the ensemble going on?
Oh, there you go.
I don't know how many beanies you need, but I've only got one head. Well, I've got 2 heads, but it won't fit the other one.
Oh, naughty.
Very naughty. But you know what I mean, right?
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
How many beanies do you need? Great cause. Get behind it, everyone. Make sure you buy it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's. I guess we'll have a look at what happened last week real quick. So I haven't actually written anything down here, but yeah, how good were the Knights, hey? That's all I'm worried about.
Mate, I left the car and the Knights, I think they were 6 or 10 points behind.
Yep, they're gone.
I remember exactly the score. We got to the stadium, and I'm listening to the game and going, oh, the Knights are in trouble. We get into the stadium. I open up my phone, and they're up by 6, and I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah, it was great.
What just happened?
I lost my voice and everything. So yeah, first game was a cracker. Don't know what happened to the Raiders in the second half. They were ahead 16-0. They didn't go on with it, and they almost lost against the Tigers there.
Yeah, no, Raiders, not spectacular, but, it wasn't a great quality game. That Panthers game, I still am just trying to work out how we're supposed to tip Breno. Penrith, with all their players rested, at home, the Wars are at home, and they're only 8-6 at half-time, and they fair dinkum don't come out for the second half and get trounced by Penrith's reserve grade team. What is going on? I'm hearing more rumours, Breno, about salary cap pressures at the Panthers.
Yeah.
I don't understand how when they've let so many people
Yeah,
go.
absolutely.
But apparently,
Haven't really brought many
some
in.
people must be back-ended up to the hilt. But
Yeah.
Knights, as we said, fantastic win. The Storm, absolute clincher. South down 12-0 after 7 minutes. That face you see in Breno's post, that was then.
Yeah, that was like,
we,
oh no.
we were down 12-0 after 7 minutes. It's going to be bad. But anyway, the Broncos come back from a first half deficit. Sharks up 28-12. Fair dinkum. Didn't put the queue in the rack, Breno. They put it in the Uber and drove away. It was terrible second half from the Sharks. They have some serious title flaws now. I don't think they're a title contender.
Yeah.
Roosters down at halftime, but stormed home in the second half. Yeah, I got a tip right.
I've got these.
And,
it's around the wrong way too. I got the halftime score around the wrong way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I thought they were ahead, but yeah, the Roosters way too good in that second half. Cowboys had fair dinkum nothing, and the Titans after one good week, crap again.
Yeah.
I tip them, and they
poop emojis everywhere.
Parramatta fans, poop emojis everywhere. Parramatta fans celebrating one in a row.
Hey,
go
on your Para. Get them off the bottom. Yeah. And again, Cowboys are just terrible. They've just switched off this second half of the year. Gone.
Oh. How do you tip it? How do you tip it?
You can't. It's not possible.
I just don't understand.
Here's a ladder for you, PJ. You're on top of something here.
Hey! South on top, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. 161 weeks of injuries compared to the second worst, the Roosters, amazingly. But they did have Brandon Smith and Walker out for the season. So midway through last year. So they've been missing a lot of people early in the season. 107. 84 is the next, but Souths are twice as bad as the third worst team.
Yeah, it's crazy. I thought Knights would have been further up because we've had so many crazy injuries and still trying to battle with them. Especially now, Fletcher Sharp's gone for pretty much. He's probably the year now by the sound of it.
Yeah, well, ruptured spleen. I heard he just got back from Perth today.
Spleen,
yeah, ruptured spleen and something about a kidney as well.
Yeah, I think he split his kidney or something.
Burst kidney.
Did something. Can't be good. Whatever.
Fletcher Sharp, we're thinking of you, buddy. I know you guys put your body on the line every week in the NRL for our entertainment. Thank you. But we didn't really want you to rupture vital organs. So,
that's not a good plan.
Yeah, all the best with the recovery. But the Wars right at the bottom there, Breno, 43 weeks of injuries. Just above them, the Broncos, 46. 44 of those are just Adam Reynolds.
And Reece Walsh. He's been out half the year, There we go. So, Bulldogs still on top there, hanging on. Yep. Titans are back down the bottom. Oh, Rabbitohs have slipped down too. Ooh.
Slipped down to second last, Breno. Eels somehow equal on for and against with us. 89's not terrible, let's be honest. Yeah. For the win-loss ratio. But, again, we're looking at 4 points.
Yeah, you're not far off.
Between
8, really.
fifth and 16th. Closest comp we've ever seen, Breno, I tell you now. And with teams like the Cowboys above us on minus 140, won't take much to jump.
Yeah, a few wins are up there, yeah.
I think the Bunnies will go on a streak here, but the Broncos somehow in fifth. Breno, how did that happen?
No idea.
I don't know either.
I thought they were losing all their games. Anyway.
I thought they were like 10th or 11th last week, and they might have been. But a big win over the Sharks and bounce up into 5th spot. But don't bank on them in the finals, ladies and gentlemen. I really can't see the Broncos competing at all in the finals.
So let's jump into it then. Game 1 of round 17, everyone. Here we are.
Match of the round.
Match of the round already, straight up.
Up.
I don't know. We'll see what happens here.
My match of the round.
Your match of the round, but Panthers are sitting just inside the 8 and the Bulldogs at Combank Stadium in Sydney tonight. The Bulldogs are the favourites here, but Panthers are coming in good at the end at the right time of the season, and they can't be written off. This one's going to be a cracker to kick us off for this weekend. I've gone with the number 1 team, though, the Bulldogs. I can't believe I just said that. Ew. Anyway, but
13 plus.
I reckon they'll be 13 plus. I think they're going to smash the Panthers. Yeah.
Panthers won 6 in a row, and they beat the Warriors in Auckland last week without all their good players. I'm sorry, Breno. This is absolutely not only the match of the round, sponsored by Crown Lager, by the way.
Oh, Crownie's today. Okay,
yeah. And John Sutton's 300.
Oh, your 300 stubby holder, yeah.
300 limited edition stubby holder.
Buy yours now.
Buy them now on pj.com. No, don't. That could be a real website.
It could be a good site. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they sell pajamas. But
just don't put a B there.
I think the Panthers are dead set certainty tonight, mate. I really do.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Dead set certainty.
Well, we'll soon find out, won't we?
We will. By next week, they're playing the Bulldogs first up in round whatever the hell we're on.
Something is 17.
Something 17th, 18th?
17, yeah.
You got the bye next week, Panthers. I tell you now, they're going to go out tonight and absolutely obliterate the Bulldogs and put a massive dent. Tomorrow's headlines, Breno. Dent in titles credentials.
Well,
with all those RSPCA memes that we see.
Yes.
I want to report dogs being abused.
I'd love to see the Bulldogs get knocked off their perch, but I can't see them doing it tonight. But yeah, if that happens, that will be the headline. I'll put it up there tonight when they win. Yeah.
Panthers are specials.
All right, let's go into Friday night's matchups. The Manly Seagulls 10th, they're hosting the West Tigers 14th at Four Pines in Sydney. The Seagulls haven't been performing that good recently, and they need to improve if they're going to be any chance to get back in that top 8. They're favourites here, though, while the Tigers also lost some bite recently. Can Manly swoop in for the win, or will West claw their way out of the lower ranks? I'm feeling a Manly at home probably going to be too strong unless DCE doesn't turn up. Then it could be a different story. But here we go, 13 plus again.
Well, DCE hasn't turned up all season.
No.
Since he announced the move to the Roosters, which now is apparently not going to happen. I'm hearing rumours, Breno, that the Roosters have gone cold on the situation. His form is part of it. Sam Walker's part of it. The young guy that they've got in the team, I forget his name, but he's been spectacular since coming into first grade. And they're going, you know what?
Sexton? Or?
No. The young guy for Roosters. What's his name?
Roosters. I don't know.
Yeah, the young Roosters half that's come in because they've got injuries. And he's been killing it, mate. And we'll get to him in a minute. And I'll remember his name. But he's been killing it. Roosters want to invest in him and bringing him through and hanging on to him rather than bringing in Cherry Wright at a not very ripe age of 36. So trust me when I say this, it sounds like the Cherry Wright deal is not ripe anymore.
Yeah, probably end up at Bulldogs like everyone else.
Yeah. No, he's probably done his dash with Manly as well. Like he's burned his bridge. So all I can think is he'll finally fulfil that contract he signed with Gold Coast 10 years ago. I don't know.
That could happen, yeah.
Maybe that'll happen. I've got no faith in Manly at all, Breno. I've been tipping them for a couple of weeks. They should be winning. Yeah. I can't see any cultural change. I can't see Seabold has any answers. I've tipped the West's Tigers. I think they were good last week against the second place Raiders, and I think they will get the chocolates. Even though it's Manly at Brookvale, I think the West Tigers will get the win.
Even at home, they've been crash hot this year. And yeah, the fans have turned against Seabold too, haven't they? The fans are in uproar.
Yeah. Mate, he went to Brisbane on a 5-year deal. He got sacked 18 months in. I don't know what you think happened between when he got sacked and you hired him, but it's basically the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, you got the same
thing. Yeah,
same shit, different team.
He ain't going to be around long, I tell you now. Brad Arthur must be sitting there. There's a few teams, I think, that are struggling with the coach, and I reckon Brad Arthur's sitting back going, I got to a grand final the year before I got fired. I reckon people have faith in me.
Someone will be knocking on his door any minute.
Someone will be knocking on his door any minute, mate. So
All right, so here we go. The Newcastle Knights sitting in 13th at home against the Canberra Raiders, who are second. We're at McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. The Knights underdogs, despite the cracking match last week. They're facing off against a powerful Raiders side. Gee, the Raiders they're a surprise outfit this year, aren't they? They're looking red hot. But will the Knights pull off an upset, or will the Raiders continue their march to the top? If they could just attempt to go for a little bit of an upset, I'll be happy with the Knights. But I've got the Raiders 1-12.
I'm also going Raiders 1-12, Breno. I think the chinks in the armour, and that's not a Newcastle joke. The chinks in the armour last week for the
Pardon
Raiders,
the pun.
they were very, very solid in the first half, but they just really didn't finish again. And Newcastle are starting to get some belief. This is a chance. This is a chance for the Knights at home, Friday night, TV game. Like it's the Channel 9 8 o'clock game. This is a massive statement for the Knights to push themselves with a couple of back-to-back wins up into the 8.
Yeah.
I've gone Raiders 1-12. I just think they'll be too good, but
so,
it'll be close.
I'm hoping so. Well, it's going to go either way. So, because Canberra haven't been 100% either. They've scraped through a few of them, but I think they might just be a little bit too strong for us at the moment. Especially,
I'm going 21-14. 21-14, Breno.
Okay. Oh, he's here you go.
Field goal.
It's going to be a field goal. And it'll come off the post and go in. Hopefully the Knights can prove me wrong, and like they did last week.
They got the bye next week, so they want to go out there and give it their all, I tell you. But Raiders might just be too good.
I think so. All right, and then we go into Saturday afternoon footy. This sees the top 5 clash with the Brisbane Broncos. They're in 5th, up against the Warriors, 4th, and then we're at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. The Broncos are slight favourites. Now, I can't understand how the Broncos are 5th, seriously, as we were just saying. I feel they haven't had a great season so far, but winning one week and losing the next, then smashing the next team, it's all over the place, really. It's a bit like their media manager driving into parked cars. But who can tip this team? Well, it's going to be me. I'm tipping this team for this week. I'm going 1-12 apparently.
No, I'm going the Wars, mate. I think the Warriors will be spewing about last week.
Yeah. And
they've got the bye the week after, so I reckon same situation. They're going to come out and give it their all. Broncos mysteriously in 5th. I still don't understand it, but Bulldogs next week is going to be tough, but that will be without Origin players. So Broncos might have a chance next week without the Bulldogs Origin players in there. Warriors for me 1-12. I'm thinking 26-16.
Okay. 10 points in it.
Wow. There'll be tongues everywhere. Tongues everywhere, I tell you.
And there's hyphenated names everywhere again too, so there we go.
Hyphenated names everywhere. What do you think's going to happen? I know we've got a lot of Broncos fans in the group. Put your comments in the comments. Let us know if you think the Broncos are going to get up and solidify themselves as a top 5 team, or if the Wars will bounce back from last week's disgrace.
He's pressing buttons. There we go. There he is.
Hey!
All right, so then we go into a Saturday evening footy. We're at Wollongong for this one. St. George Illawarra Dragons, 11th. They host the Parramatta Eels, 15th at Wynn Stadium. The Dragons look to be favourites, and they'll look to extend their lead over a struggling Eels side. But can Parramatta upset the home team? Eels had a nice win last week without Moses, and the Dragons coming off the bye and a couple of losses, though, before that. So with that, I am going to take the Dragons 1-12.
Yep, they shocked the shizzle out of me last week too, the Parramatta Eels.
Yeah,
but kind of fitting you're on. Kind of fitting you got that picture. Go back one, Breno. Kind of fitting you got that picture. Jack de Belin today apparently has signed a 2-year deal with the Parramatta Eels.
Oh, there you go.
So guy on the left
He's going
is
over to the right.
joining on the right next year. So interesting. I'm going Parramatta. I think they were really good last week. It was only the Titans, but you know, and I'm not getting this whole win-loss thing. As soon as I go, oh, they won, tip them to lose, they friggin' win again. So I think Parramatta will win again. Dean Hawkins into the lineup. I think he'll be solid. Dylan Brown's back from injury as well. That back line's pretty bloody solid from Parramatta. And Dragons are very up and down. King Togia, he's been really good this year. Another one of those young guys who've been brought up and have done a really nice job. So it'll be interesting to see how that game goes. But I think it'll be tight. But I'm going Parramatta maybe like in a 32-28 situation.
That's a high scoring, I think, yeah. Okay.
High scoring, and no defence on either of those teams.
True. Yeah.
Rubbish.
11th
and Volkman on the bench, the extended bench, but on the extended bench against his old team, the Dragons, who cancelled his contract, and then he had to try and sue him, and I think he lost or won, or can't remember. Parramatta by 4. The big ones.
Okay, so Saturday night footy. Here we go. Dolphins Knights facing off against the South Sydney Rabbitohs, 16th at Suncorp. The Dolphins are favourites here despite being beaten by my Knights last week. The Rabbitohs very unlucky not to get a win last week against the Storm. Such a great game that was, as we were just talking about. But plus AJ is getting closer to that all-time record of try scored in a career. So can the Rabbitohs bounce back from a tough loss, or will the Dolphins get back on track? I'm with you, PJ, after last week's cracker. I'm going Rabbitohs 1-12.
Yay! And you might remember, Breno, this game's actually reversed. So this was South Sydney's home game. In the NRL.
That's right. Yes, I remember. Yeah.
Round 1, Cyclone, whatever the hell.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, Cyclone, whatever the hell, hit Brisbane, or was heading toward Brisbane.
Yeah.
And a few people went, oh, it's going to get windy. So they moved the game to Sydney, sadly to Parramatta Stadium, where I just don't go. It's in the worst place in the world. But anyway. So now this is the reverse game, so I miss out twice. And the Bunnies 1-12. I'm going 1-12. I think they were great against the Storm last week. Alex Johnson 4 tries. He's just 6 tries off equaling the record. I saw a podcast today, Chad Townsend, saying that the South fans should storm the field. Tony Lockett.
No. Everyone will get barred. You'll have no one in the crowd next week.
What's that AFL guy when he broke the record?
Buddy.
Was it Buddy Franklin or Tony Lockett?
But
I don't watch AFL. But anyway,
I think it happened to Lockett as well. But
storm the field. They said the NRL is not doing anything to promote the record that has stood for 70 years.
Yeah.
And probably will never be beaten again in anyone alive's lifetime. Like this is an amazing situation for the game. I'm pretty underwhelmed by the game's promotion as well, but I'm tipping an Alex Johnson double in this game. I think he'll score 2. He'll get 4 tries away from equaling the record, 5 tries from beating it. Unfortunately for poor South fans, we got like 7 away games in the next 8 matches.
No, so it's not going to happen at home. Oh.
It's probably not even going to happen at home, which is very sad. But that's what happens when South Sydney keeps selling our home games to anybody who's got $5. So, Campbell Graham back from injury, though. He's huge for South Sydney. Cody Walker also back from injury. It's going to be a cracker match. Like the Dolphins know how to score points. Not last week when I tipped them. Not last week when I tipped them.
3 weeks before that, they scored 158 points. That's what Knights going to get.
That's what I'm saying, right? So I'm tipping Bunnies. It'll be close, like a 24-20 or no, I'm not feeling that. Maybe 26-22 is what I'm feeling. So 4 points, I reckon the Bunnies will get the chocolates.
The Bunnies, let's do it.
We've got Manly next week. Totally winnable. We're going on a run, mate. Quote me. We're going on a run.
20 in a row. There we go.
Go, buddy.
All right, the Melbourne Storm, 3rd, taking on the 6th place Cronulla Sharks at Amy. The Storm are heavy favourites here with the Sharks, another team I can't believe being up so far in the in the top 8 there. they have a massive form slump recently, but can the Sharks pull off an upset, or will the Storm keep rolling towards the top of the ladder? I'm going Storm 1 to 12. I think. Where's my button?
I see what you did there. Storm
you see what I did
rolling,
there? Storm's rolling in, and Cronulla's
very
up.
Very great Southern land, you know. But yeah, Storm very underwhelming last week. Bellamy players were scared to go in the dressing room, is what I heard.
Yeah.
He'll be tearing them apart.
They stayed on the field, I think.
He'll be tearing them apart this week at training. And, I'm tipping a massive result from the Storm this week. They lost to the Sharks early this year already. Bellamy doesn't like losing twice at the same team in the same season. So I'm tipping Melbourne Storm to have a big form reversal. Sharks, they're just one of those teams that just fair dinkum go missing at the click of a finger. 28-12 ahead, Breno, against the Broncos, who were playing terrible. And in the blink of an eye, they're losing. Like, I still can't even work out what happened, but I don't have any faith in the Sharkies, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Storm will get this one. They've got the bye next week. That'll be 2 free points for the Sharks. They deserve to be in the top 6. They've been good this year, but they do have those matches where they just switch off.
They certainly did last week, that's for sure.
Yeah, and this isn't one of them. They have to turn up for this one. Yeah. I'm going Storm 13+. And Britain Nakora to hit a hole.
Hit a what? Okay.
Hit a good hole in school. Put that in your multi.
All right, lose a bit late apparently. Sorry, go Queensland. Here we go, just in time for the Queensland matchup.
Hey, Louise.
There you go. So we've got 8 games this week. Here we go. This is the 8th one for the week. We have the Gold Coast Titans 17th host the North Queensland Cowboys 12th at Seabar Super Stadium on the Gold Coast to finish off the weekend. So possibly could be more boring than the last game last week with the Titans and Eels, but the Cowboys are the favourites here. Well, sorry, Titans, you guys are pretty terrible this year, but however, the Cowboys have been pretty woeful lately as well, so strap in for an ordinary game here. Who will come out on top in this crucial clash for both these teams? I'm taking Cowboys 13+. I've got a few 13s this week. Look out.
Got a few 13s. Yeah, I'm going Cowboys, but go back a screen just real quick, Breno.
Yeah.
The team with the worst ever anniversary logo.
Every chance you get.
Yeah. I know I haven't dropped on this, but the 30's way too big. It's just way too. I can't believe they haven't fixed it. They must
the
be
over
watching
30s.
my podcast.
Yeah, it's the over 30s team.
They must be watching my podcast. But anyway, next screen. I'm going Cowboys. No faith at all. They were dreadful last week. The Titans were dreadful last week. This is literally Patches O'Houlihan going, it's like watching 2 retards trying to fuck a doorknob. Like it's just no one knows what's going to happen in this one. But yeah, I'll go Cowboys with no faith or reasoning at all.
Fair enough.
Usually when Tino Fa'asuamaleaui is in, Titans play pretty well, but geez, last week. I was so disappointed last week. I actually thought that was the game where they can push themselves up and start really moving up the ladder.
Yeah,
They've got the Cowboys this week.
Yeah.
I forget who they got next week, but I remember it's an easy one. The bye, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
They won last week. They beat the Cowboys this week. It was severely out of form. They got the bye next week. That's 6 points in a points table where it's 4 points between 6th and 16th. That's massive for the Titans. Geez, they missed an opportunity last week, and I think they're going to miss it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, very sad. Cowboys will get murdered by the Storm. So they better take the points this week while they've got them.
Get them while you can.
Get them while you can. They're like Pokemons. Oh, Dave's here. Hey, Dave. Hope you're well, mate.
Dave, welcome to the show.
You may have missed it, but I just tipped your Bulldogs to get smashed.
I tipped him.
But anyway.
Surprise.
Yeah, he did tip him. But yeah, last week, Breno. Hey, look at this. Breno doesn't even want to talk right now. He wants to look at it and smile.
This is great.
He had a 1 point lead. And the The bloody Sharks had the game in the bag and then threw it away from me, so he gets an extra point on me there. And then the Titans, like I don't know how you tip the Titans from the week before where they played amazing to this week. They're playing Parramatta. It's not a great team. They're playing it without Brown and Moses. Not a great team, and they got smashed. So I don't think my tips were terrible despite the 3, Breno. I don't think you were great despite the 5. Yeah. But you're 3 points ahead.
Yeah, so we've got a few different this week. Ready for it? Here we go.
We got 4 different this week.
4 different, so this could sort us out a little bit. Or I could just streak ahead.
I will lead by 1 after this week, ladies and gentlemen. I will lead by 1.
PJ
I was going to tip the Bulldogs and went, no, tip the Panthers. I was going to tip Manly and went, no, tip the Tigers. That's what the right thing to do.
Either that or PJ's going to resign from tipping after this week.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I'm 63. What's your score? Let us know in the chat what your score is. But bloody hell, wouldn't have to be too good to beat either of us at the moment. But, a couple of different ones out. That Parramatta Dragons game is going to be a tight tussle as well. That could literally go either way. Toss a coin. I'm hoping the Eels can do it for me. Come on, the Eels. Despite the fact my son's back in the country. Hi, Chris. Hope you're well. I know you don't watch, but welcome back to the country. He's a big Dragons fan, Breno.
Oh, yes. I know that. All good. All right, let's get on to see what PJ's got for this week. Here we go.
Woo, woo.
PJ's tip of the week.
Alrighty, so I did say, how close was I? Look at that. Bloody Dolphins. They should have smashed them. No. Like, seriously, the week before they put 56 on the Dragons, and then they come out and lose to the Knights. Lose. Like 1-12, I understand, but lose. So anyway. Only 3 out of 6 in last week's multi, so not good enough. This week, dead set certainty. Are you ready? I know I said the Panthers were specials tonight, but I haven't put them in the multi. I've got a bit of an insurance there. Raiders, 1-12. They will win. The Raiders will win this week, and they will win 1-12. Quote me. The Rabbitohs are in my multi. I don't put my Rabbitohs in my multi much, usually because I'm the kiss of death. But I think they will beat the Dolphins, and they will win that 1-12. Rabbitohs. And finally, I'm tipping the Storm to absolutely obliterate the Sharks after last week's average performance against the Bunnies, nearly losing to an injury-plagued Rabbitohs outfit. The Storm will absolutely overpower the very average Sharks against Broncos and smash them. So Raiders 1-12, Bunnies 1-12, Storm 13 plus. Think green and purple, ladies and gentlemen, and gamble responsibly. Gamble responsibly. Okay.
PJ's tip of the week.
Oh, there we go.
Had to get that in before the Misso come home. She's a big Sharks fan. I had to make sure I got that in before she got home. I can hear the feet. Yeah. But what game are you looking forward to most this weekend, Breno? Apart from the Knights, obviously.
The
Knights, what's the game for you?
I'm actually a bit scared for that one, to be honest. But tonight's one should be, as long as if my tip goes all right, I'll be happy. But the Dogs beat the Panthers, even though why am I tipping the Dogs?
At the top of the show, you said Panthers Bulldogs wasn't the match of the round. What's your match of the round?
I don't know.
What is it?
I'm just having a look.
Game. Sharks Storm maybe 3v5. Maybe.
I don't know. Dolphins Rabbitohs would be interesting to see if Rabbitohs can back up from last week, how they played last week, and then because the Dolphins are all
I can't pick back with myself. Yep. Awesome. Yeah, no, I think tonight's match, Panthers
it should be good.
4-time champions up against the Bulldogs trying to stamp their authority on this
Respect my
premiership.
authority.
This will be a massive moment for the Bulldogs to prove that they're there. Panthers have won a lot of games in a row, and they are back in the top 8 for the first time of the season. They were dead last 6 weeks ago, Breno. Stone motherless.
Yep. They were
So,
they look like they were going to go for
doing for game 3.
Yeah, what are you doing for game 3? I know everyone get ready for this. We're preparing for a awesome State of Origin Decider podcast. So stay tuned with the third Origin. We've got an awesome show coming up. We're going to bring the big Queenslander back for everyone. All the Queensland supporters will be happy. He's going to give us some shit.
Couldn't find him. Couldn't find him, ladies and gentlemen. Could not find him after the loss. Couldn't find him after Origin 1 loss, but Origin 2 win. They're like, I'm back for the show 3. So we'll see. We'll see the big Queenslander back for game 3. But I don't know yet. I was actually talking to some friends today about what we're going to be doing for Origin. Obviously, the podcast first, but probably watching it at home maybe, or heading to the pub with the boys. One of the two.
We're going down to the club.
Pub with the boys.
Go to the club and watch it on the big screen. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. Make sure you comment away, keep an eye on our page, and join the chat for round 17. We'll keep you up to date with all the scores and our tips. Enjoy your night.
Yep. Hope your team wins. Go the Knights, and go those Rabbits.
Come on. Go your team. Good night, everyone. Thank you very much.
Go, AJ. Love you, AJ. Please.
Thanks for tuning in to another action-packed episode of the NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out all of the NRL Live Chat 2.0 action on our Facebook group page. Come and join the chat. Goodbye.